Y'all, I had the weirdest dream last night. So, for those of you who've been following me on social media and all my live broadcasts, you know this past year has been quite the journey for me. I'll do a video at a later point in time explaining everything that's been going on behind the scenes with Chris and I's separation and divorce proceedings and all of that jazz. But a lot has been going on with me creatively that I've been trying to figure out. For those of you who've been supporting me, I've now been doing this for over 17 years, which is wild to think about, that my first YouTube uploads were back in 2005. That's absolutely crazy to think about, that I've been doing it this long. And I can't help but feel, especially for the past, the past several years, that I usually say, I'll say this to broadcasters, you know, there's times where you're creating, and this is kind of like the career path. It's like a roller coaster, right? You'll have your ups, you'll have your downs, and I've just been kind of resting in this middle area for the better part of the past few years. And I like to say to people, well, that's when you're sitting on a runway. You're sitting on a runway, you're just waiting to take off again. And it's honestly been weighing pretty heavily on me. I've been thinking to myself, you know, did I miss an opportunity, or, you know, should I have done things differently? I've been thinking a lot about that with all of my creation. And last night, I had a wild dream that I'm going to share with you. So it started off that I was on a reality show. So picture a show like The Circle or Big Brother or whatever. I was a contestant on it. And there was parts of the dream where I was, you know, seeing as I see through my regular eyes. And there were other times where I was seeing, you know, what was being displayed to the audience while they were watching on their TV, like me outside my body watching myself. And a lot of the commentary around my performance in that show was around my branding of KawaiiGuy. So I started using KawaiiGuy shortly after the Ogiku phase of my career. And with it, it was really tied to my love of all things cute. As you can tell, my home is pretty colorful. The life I've been living is pretty colorful. But there was a lot of criticism in the show, in the dream, about that branding for me. Like the judges on the series, there were judges apparently, were criticizing, oh, cute guy? Well, who wants to be a cute guy? Like, what's the deal with that? Why are you doing this whole shtick? And there was a part of me in the show, like, I don't know how many episodes I'm going to last because I'm not that controversial. I don't really, you know, start wars with anybody online. I'm not playing that whole game that I see people do across the internet space. And so I was honestly, like, worried in the dream about, okay, well, what is my trajectory then? If people are saying, oh, well, your brand doesn't make sense, it doesn't relate to guys or whatever, I'm like, oh, so I'm having this identity moment that I'm struggling with in the dream. And the one episode concludes, it's fun because there was actually a crafty table. I walked over to it, got a quick bite on a plate, and then walked into an elevator. And I was on floor 17. And I pressed the button for 12, which was the floor that I wanted to get off on, which was apparently where I was staying. And so I pressed the button for 12, and there's an error with the button, and people were like, oh no, I think we're going down. And I took the elevator all the way down to floor 1. Doors open, and everybody's like, oh, we missed our floor. And it was weird. I was just like, oh, okay. And I'm going to get off the elevator, and there's like a moment where the people in the elevator like are about to clap for me, but they don't. And so I get off the elevator on floor 1, and I'm like, okay, I can't take the elevator back up. I'm not quite sure. And so I walk to this lobby area, and I'm looking around for where the elevators are, and I don't see any, but I do see stairs, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just take the stairs back up. In reflecting on this, I woke up from the dream at that point, and while I was reflecting, I was like, holy crap, okay, some timelines that are associated with this dream that I had. First of all, there's the 17th floor. I've been doing it 17 years, as I mentioned, and I showcase on Twitter. I've been doing this 17 years. Was at the 17th floor. I wanted to get off at floor 12. Now, that was when I really kind of quit the YouTube circuit. That was about 5 years ago. That's when I kind of, stepped away from managing YouTubers and really creating a lot of stuff on my side in the YouTube circuit too, when I stepped away from it. But it didn't stop at that floor. It wasn't letting me stop at that floor. And it took me all the way down to the bottom. And this is really kind of how I've been feeling as I've been thinking about my Twitch strategy, about my YouTube strategy. I definitely have been feeling like I need a fresh start of sorts with what I'm creating and what I'm putting out there in the world. I've definitely changed a lot over the years from, those of you who watched me with Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal Theater. I definitely look different. What I put out online is definitely more professionally skewing with the producing that I've done over the years and the people I've guided and, my theories about live stream entertainment and what it means and all of that. But my creative, I definitely feel like I'm back at a point where I'm at the ground level. There's a quote that I wish I could find for you from Louis Anderson, who's a great comedian. He produced a lot, 80s into 90s. Life with Louis was one of the series, for example. And he had mentioned that after that success cycle, when he decided to take a break, it's one of the aspects of the industry you can't really take a break in our industry. That if you do, you go to the back of the line, and then you have to start over again. And the only thing you really have with you is the experience, the expertise, and all of that. And hopefully that will shine as you start to go back through. So what I'm effectively trying to get at, or what I want to tell you all with this is, one, I'm not done creating. Definitely not done. I want to continue to create more. But I know that I have to start effectively at the ground again. And if anything, that gives me some relief in that I can experiment and try again in order to reestablish what you can expect of me, what I can do to grow, redefine what I want to make. But it is going to be a grind, and it's a grind that I'm ready for. So this is me saying to you, I hope you will join me in this next phase of my career, in this next phase of my journey. I will give a proper life update probably in the coming month or two with everything that's happening on the personal side. But this is just me saying, I hope you'll be around. I hope you'll toss a comment or two. I hope you follow me in the journey here on YouTube as well as on Twitch as I segment the two and deliver different types of content on both. And in my professional ventures, as I continue to expand on that front, that, I'm not giving up. And if I have to take the stairs again, so be it. I will do that. That's really all that I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope you have a great today and an even better tomorrow. And I will see you next time here on the channel.